On Thursday, the 4th of May 2017, all 4 members of a family were found hanging in their home in Hooghly because the daughter was reportedly pregnant. 2. In just the first half of 2016, more than 15,000 girls dropped out of school, causing a 13% rise in number of girl dropouts. 3. In India, most of the women suffer severe domestic violence and abuse, but are afraid to report it to lose their earning member, and some of them don't even know that domestic violence is a crime. 4. According to a Human Rights Watch survey, India has over 20 million prostitutes hiding under the eyes of law and in the shadows and being severely mistreated by brothels and their managers. 5. According to a survey conducted by HelpAge India, more than 50% of old parents and senior citizens are abused either verbally or physically or neglected by their children. Thus, we have in front of us 5 instances of crimes committed against people coming from different age groups and affecting different stratas of society. However, what we fail to notice is that each one of these leads to one basic problem: the absence of legal awareness. Had the teenage pregnant girl known that she could have gone to an abortion center and got an abortion done for free, her family could have been saved. If the girls who dropped out of school knew about the government incentives and rewards offered to people who completed their education, their parents would have insisted they complete their education and keep going to school. If the wives who suffer domestic abuse would have known that there are laws in place to protect them and provide economic aid, they would have stood up for themselves. If the prostitutes who are working hard day and night trying to feed their family known that there are laws in India that say that prostitution is legal and brothel keeping is not, they would have stood up to their brothels and their managers. And if the old parents who suffer abuse known about the Maintenance and Welfare of Old Parents and Senior Citizens Act, which was published in 2007 and provides basic maintenance, food, clothes and shelter to parents, they would have had much better lives. So, we come to what I'm going to talk about today: legal literacy. P. Sadasivam, the ex-Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, had said that legal literacy and legal awareness is the core base of our constitutional democracy, and that our entire judicial setup functions on the presumption that every single citizen is aware of their legal rights and has the ability to implement them and approach the concerned institution. Now, it has been a belief for a very long time that legal education is only for law students or for lawyers. But what we have failed to understand is that the law is what encompasses every single aspect of a nation and thus of an individual's life. It protects and provides, it decides the prerequisites and the consequences, it maintains balance, and it thus heavily influences every single part of our lives. Law is a very important tool, but only if understood well. Life skills are defined as a set of skills that are conventionally required for you to effectively manage your way around the world. Surprisingly, however, the conventional life skill set does not consider basic legal knowledge. Questions like, what would you do if someone stopped you from going somewhere or entering a public place? What would you do if someone denied you an opportunity that was rightfully yours? What would you do if someone did anything legally wrong? And even if you knew that your fundamental rights are being infringed, do you know which rights are being infringed? And do you know how to enforce them? More often than not, the answer to all the above questions is no. So, we have it in front of us. The problem of legal illiteracy and a country of 1 billion people with only a handful of legal literacy. What do we do about it? How do we ensure that the next time a corrupt police officer drags you to the police station for no fault of yours, instead of begging to be let go and offering a bribe, you can stand up for what is your fundamental right? This problem isn't new, and thus steps have been taken to improve it. However insignificant or not widespread they may have been. We have legal aid clinics in 952 law colleges that are approved by the Bar Council of India in this country. And if a college does not have a legal aid care clinic, you have the right to ask for one. More so if a person is poor and can't afford the concerned lawyer or the legal help, they have the right to approach the legal aid officer who is present at every district court. However, this needs more. Obviously, this is in place, but ignorance strikes again. The people don't even know these things exist. So the solution lies in large-scale propagation. And whenever we think of large-scale propagation, the first thing that comes to mind is the media. The media has its tentacles spread in every crevice of this world, and we need to make good use of that. It needs to be blaring through the radio or played across posters, magazines, regional daily newspapers, in the news, put into plays, literature, books, everywhere. It is as important as medicine. As for those of us who are fortunate enough to have access to the things that can enable us to garner this knowledge or to find it out from the internet and implement it for ourselves, let us teach it to the people we meet and work with every day, our domestic help, people we meet on the road, anybody and everybody. This is a problem that needs to be taken up actively, otherwise our country is going to fall. In conclusion, I ask you to take back only one sentence from whatever I've said. Knowledge is power, ignorance is fatal, and law is not just for lawyers.